Mushoku Tensei is probably one of the best fantasy anime out there right now, and it's an isekai. Shocking, isn't it? The term popularized as isekai, which quite literally means another world, details the story of someone in our very own world being transported into, you guessed it, another world. Now, one thing that has been eating away at me is that 99% of all isekai, let it be from anime to manga to even light novels, covers the aspect of our main character being transported but treating this newfound discovery as if it were just a video game. Now hear me out. Say you're watching a show, you're just having a good old time, but the show then shows that the main character just goes ahead to gain some levels to improve their stats. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool, that's pretty neat. Then you watch another isekai, you see them that some of the characters are doing something, but look at that, they're blessed with an ability that grants them more stats. Oh wait, I'm not done yet. Say that finally, it's another isekai. Maybe it's gonna be better than the last one. Maybe it's gonna be a little different. This time, they're given an awesome gift that improved this. You get where I'm going with this. Really appealing to gamers, huh, Japan? We reached a point in time where the term another world just means being transported into Dragon Quest. Where was the time where it wasn't just power harem fantasy? More recent shows like ReZero and Konosuba are great examples of the genre, but even those are just subversions or satires to the common tropes. This brings us to Mushoku Tensei, jobless reincarnation. Now, first and foremost, I want to say that Mushoku Tensei is abso-fucking-lutely beautiful. From the sound design, to the voice acting, to the animation, everything presented is just top-notch. Heck, they even made a brand new studio to do the show justice. The production value and talent brought to put this thing together is insane, and the product really shows a breath of life that almost doesn't feel replicable. In an industry filled with fantasy, there are very few instances that fully fleshed out worlds actually feel like a world I could see existing. The closest I could honestly see off the top of my head would have to be something like Spice and Wolf. Where's Season 3? The world presented is both massive in size and population. You have a whole continent full of just humans, along with another continent filled with just demon races and others commonly found within the world of fantasy. There are the regular humans, the pointy-eared elves, the stout dwarves, and the sentient demons of various animal characteristics, all with the ever-living capacity of horny! It's so expansive, along with being so well thought out, that I just feel like I'm experiencing Tolkien recreating Lord of the Rings, except that he's a total weeb and horny on main. The large quantity of different races, each with native locations and varied aptitudes, makes the show one of the rare instances where an isekai actually shows a great detail of the world. And watching the intro song's music kick in with a montage about characters experiencing life, this adds a brief glimpse of the lives they live in, and that's great. But instead, there's other shows that just want to do a little bit under that, the bare minimum, and just Yahoo Yippee itself to a boring place where your special power is just having a motherfucking phone. I actually believe Rudy to be the perfect vehicle to explore everything that this world has to offer. Yes, he's a horny 30-something-year-old dude in a child's body, but this isn't about that. Being born into this fantasy world since birth, but having the mental cognition of a fully grown adult gives an interesting scenario of fully fleshing out the world at a pace both digestible to the audience and realistic in how someone like Rudy would acquire such knowledge. He learns a whole new language, too in fact, that have a great impact on his place in the world. Something not commonly associated with humankind is magic. While we know humans are capable, it is rare for those to be exceptionally gifted. Rudy is a case of having a high affinity towards magic that he was able to hone through years of his own childhood. I like to imagine the system as if it was something like Skyrim, where the more you use one tree, the greater its efficiency, and in turn improving yourself overall in the process. Though the downside of using all your magic capacity leaves you tired, like Megumin casting it. Though all this talk of magic makes it feel rather simplistic. Heck, the strongest spell seen yet has been the ability to cast a powerful storm, which in and of itself is rather impressive for one person to create, but fairly straightforward in how it functions. But that's what I find most interesting about the show. It's not overly complex to the point of absurdity, but easy enough to understand the basic applications, like having a Swiss Army knife but with the potential to be a flat-out bazooka. Magic is also strong in the world, but it's not the ends to a means solution in every situation. Everyone from the cast have been a great addition to the show. Roxy and Sylphie are both adorable little snowballs that I want to head pat. Eris is an adorable ball of chaos that I question how she was raised. Then you have the whole cast, who were/are a band of adventurers. There's Tall Hand, the chill dwarf, Elena, Elenolise, I think that's Elenolise. Elenolise, the elf with the main function to fuck. Ghislaine is a badass who could kill me in a flash, but also crush me with her thighs at a moment's notice. Zenith and Lilia make the women of Rudy's house and definitely rule the place. And Paul fucks. Special mention to Rugierd, who is the most wholesome killing machine to ever grace the show. I love these characters a lot because they are much more than just the one-note characters who occupy a specific stereotype. Almost everyone has a moment and that makes them goofy, but that also contrasts with the more serious moments of the show. People get time to shine and have a good purpose later on, or so I've been told. The anime hasn't gotten too far yet, but I can see the potential of this show regardless. Everything sounds great, right? You have a magic system and a world that feels both grounded and reasonable, that feels like it could actually exist. There's a vibrant world with a collection of races and societies that function amazingly. So what are some problems that come up for the show? Well, for simplicity's sake, I'll just say it's Rudy, our main character. It's Rudy. Our main character is the most divisive person amongst the community, and there are some fair reasons. 1, he makes some questionable decisions at times, and 2, the dude is goddamn horny! God. I find this flaw in a character interesting, as we know Rudy is a good-willed person, but it doesn't feel off at the same time, given both the context of his family and his lack of exposure to females in his previous life. I'm not defending his actions, but they can at least come with an acceptance of understanding where they came from. Rudy is special for the sole purpose of being a flawed person, not because he's reincarnated, not because he's great at magic. He makes tangible steps towards improving himself and sometimes has to make hard decisions for the betterment of others. And even though powerful, someone like Rudy isn't capable of dealing with every situation imaginable. He has his limits, he has tangible weaknesses, he's still human. A kid that, while knowledgeable, is still foreign to the world around him. He makes good decisions and, sure, he will make creepily bad, sometimes horrible decisions, but that is who he is. Point is, he is not a perfect character, and that's okay. A flawed character gives him room to grow, but while some such as I have this expectation for his improvement, others would likely see these traits as unnecessary and maybe abhorrent. But these are what make him distinct. He's not supposed to be this Herculean hero fighting with destiny to find his way back. No, it's just some guy given a second chance of living a new life. It's that distinction that makes a character in an existing world feel tangible. He's just living the life the best he can. There have been some real highlights that have made this experience stellar, such as going over trauma, family ties, and even the concept of death. Though all of this within an 11-episode season, along with the now currently ongoing part 2 of a season, it makes a surprisingly dense and expansive narrative for how much content is out. It never feels too slow, but still goes over everything in a timely manner. As of this video's creation, 4 more episodes of part 2 have come out with a quality still looking fantastic. More of the world's demon continent has been explored and interesting interactions have been made. If Studio Bind plans to adapt everything from the light novel, then phew, I'm starting to believe they'll actually be able to do it now. Yeah, just go ahead and see what happens. I'm gonna stay here for the long haul. I'll see how the show develops over time, and who knows, could change, things could change, but from everything presented so far, it's just been a great experience. Now, should you watch it? I'd say yeah, go for it. If you got some time, you got some enjoyment out of something out of fantasy, go ahead. It's kind of a classic in terms of that fantasy feel, so if you enjoy that kind of thing, go ahead and find it. It is pretty great. And that'll be everything for me for this video. This has been Widget, signing off. If you made it this far, what do you think of Mushoku Tensei? What have you gotten out of the show? Has it been a good time? Has it been a bad time? I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. And if you've enjoyed, maybe you like the video and subscribe for more anime-related content. And with all that, everyone, take care, and I'll see you next time. Later.